Hi there, welcome back to DIY Beauty on Purpose. My name is Leah Nev and I'm so excited that you are here today.
If you've ever wondered how you can use these galvanized metal signs from Dollar Tree, wait no longer. This episode has tons of inspiration for you, so let's get to it. For this project, I am going to take 3 of these little wooden mason jars from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to give them 1 coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. Then we're going to take the galvanized Dollar Tree plaque, and this one has like a very unique shape, and it has this weird line across from it. I don't know why, it was maybe scratched, but I'm going to use it as a guide, and I scored it with my blade knife. And now I'm going to use my shears that I do have on my Amazon store, so make sure you check that out. It is linked down below. It is awesome. And I'm just going to use that line and cut it through. Now be careful because it is very sharp when you cut them. These galvanized metals are sharp, so I'm just going to be very careful, and I did hammer it down just to mute it down a little bit, but still be very careful. Using my Cricut, I cut out this decal. It says "He is risen" and the scripture right above it, and I placed it right on top. Doesn't it look beautiful? Now here we go. The paper really bubbled after I painted it, so I removed it and I sanded it down, and then I'm just going to use some crafting paper and some glue stick. I'm just going to place glue stick glue on them and then place the crafting paper. Then I am going to flatten it out, roll it really well to make sure it's on there, and then I'm going to sand down the edges, and then that way it'll remove the excess paper around the piece and it'll be nice and flush to the edges. It works really well. Then I'm going to take my drill and a small drill bit, and I'm going to drill 3 holes on the top of each mason jar, and they're just going to be I'm just going to eye it out. I'm just going to do 1 in each corner and 1 in the center. Then I'm going to take my little chippy brush and some antiquing wax, and I'm just going to start dabbing it just to make it look like it's rusted and just giving it more of an antique farmhouse look. I'm going to do the same thing on the galvanized plaque, and that way everything kind of is cohesive and matches. To join the 3 mason jars, I'm going to use some of these popsicle sticks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to hot glue 2 of them so that they are connected. I'm also going to secure them using staples. I am then going to secure the plaque in the front using hot glue, and it actually worked really well. And make sure you're very careful because the hot glue makes the galvanized metal really hot, so just be careful. Then I'm going to cut some of these little flowers from a pick from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to start adding some hot glue in each little hole and placing 1 little flower in each one. I later realized that it was just not full enough and I wanted to add a little bit of color. So what I did was I cut out some of the branches of I think it was lavender pick, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drill some holes, and then I'm going to place them right inside of them using some hot glue. I have some exciting news. So all of the designs that I am using on my projects are now available on my Etsy shop. Literally every one of them. So make sure you check out my Etsy shop. It is linked down below. To finish everything off, I am going to place some hot glue and some Spanish moss right in between the galvanized top and the flowers. It's just to kind of add a little bit of transition from the flowers to the mason jar, and also to fill up that little area. I did add a couple of black screws where the holes were just to finish it off, and I think it looks beautiful. I love the way this one turned out, and what a great message to share during Easter.
If you enjoy DIY home decor, make sure you subscribe to our channel. I post every single week, so make sure you hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss any of the content.
For the next project, we are going to take 1 of these foam ring forms from the Dollar Tree and some burlap ribbon from Dollar General. We're just going to start wrapping it around, and I just had some left over on a spool, so I didn't have enough to cover the entire thing. You can see it there, but it was actually no big deal. You're going to see why in a little bit. Then I'm going to take this faux boxwood that I get on Amazon, and yes, it is on my Amazon store. So make sure you check it out. It is linked down below. And I'm just going to start placing them just about 2 inches away from each other. And then I took these little yellow and white flowers and I cut them out separately, and I'm just going to start placing them and pushing them through the foam anywhere in between all the faux boxwood, and this is what's going to give it some fullness. Now time to work on the galvanized metal plaque. So this is the same one we just used, but we're not going to cut it. We're going to leave it this size, and again, using my Cricut, I cut out the phrase. It is finished, and we're going to place it right in the center, and then we're going to add a lot of hot glue and then place it right in between all the florals. And I loved it. It just looks like all these flowers have grown right over the plaque, and it's just beautiful. I think this is my favorite from today, but it's really hard to choose. But I just love the way this one turned out. Friends, I want to let you know that today's video is part of a Christ is Risen open challenge hosted by my friend Fabi from Arrows DIY. And I'm so excited that she asked me to participate because I love Easter and I love the meaning and I love the true meaning of Easter. So there is going to be a playlist down in the description box with tons of videos for you, with tons of inspiration for Easter. So make sure after you watch this video, you check it out. Again, it is linked down below. For the next project, we are going to take this leftover Dollar Tree Christmas sign. We're going to remove everything from it, and then we're going to sand it down to remove any glue, any glitter, and have it be very, very smooth. I did wipe it down really well to remove all the dust, and then we're going to do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to use some glue stick, and we're just going to put it all over the sign, and we are going to attach a craft paper that is so beautiful. It's pink and white, and it came in a craft paper book, and they come in like this large books and you with all kinds of designs, and sometimes they're really inexpensive, and sometimes they even have a sale. So I applied it on and I rolled it to make sure it's really attached, and then with the remaining piece of craft paper I am going to cover the bottom. Now on to the next galvanized plaque. It's going to be this one. It has a very cool design. I cut out the phrase using my Cricut, "He lives," with the scripture, and I applied it right onto the center. Then we are going to use some hot glue and attach it to the bottom of the sign. I think it's beautiful. Then for the top, I'm going to use one of these Target dollar spot wreath forms. They're $3. I get them all the time. They're so versatile, and I just love the quality of them. I'm going to pre-drill some holes here on each corner. This is where we're going to later attach some jute string. Now I'm going to use the drill again to drill 2 holes, and this is where we are going to attach the wreath form. We're going to use some wire, and this is from Dollar Tree, just a little piece of wire. We're just going to thread it and then tighten it in the back, and then we're going to use some tape to secure the remaining wire. That way it's not going to scratch the wall. Now using some burlap ribbon, I'm going to make a double loop bow, and we're just going to scrunch it in the middle and secure it with some jute string. And I am going to hot glue it to the top of the wreath form. I am then going to take some gray and white buffalo check ribbon, and I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to create a very simple double loop bow, secure it in the center with some jute string, fluff it up a little bit, and then we are going to hot glue it to the center of the burlap bow. And then, as I mentioned, we are going to add some jute string to the back. Very simple. We're going to just thread it through, tie it in the knot, and that's it. Such a beautiful Easter sign. I love that it has that festive look, and it has a great message because yes, indeed, he lives. So in love with this sign. For the next project, we are going to take this leftover Christmas sign from Dollar Tree, remove the jute string, and sand down everything. Make sure all the glitter and everything from it is gone. And then I'm going to dust it really, really well, making sure there is no dust. And then we're going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. After the paint was dry, I am going to sand the edges just to give it a little bit more of a farmhouse distress look and dust it really, really well. I'm going to dry fit the hashtag galvanized plaque, and then I'm going to use the design that I made for this one, which says the tomb was empty, and it's from Luke 24 verse 24. And then we are going to attach the galvanized hashtag. I thought it was so cute to use it as a hashtag, you know. And so we're just going to hot glue it to the left side of the scripture, and then we're going to add some florals. I just felt like it was just missing something, and I think just adding some bright colors with some florals was perfect. I'm going to add a couple of these branches from this pick from Walmart, and then we're going to add some sunflowers to the center, and we're going to attach all 4 stems using some jute string. We're just going to wrap it around on the bottom, and then we're going to hot glue it to the right side of the phrase. And then I felt like something was missing on the other side, but we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to use 2 smaller branches from the same pick and do the same thing. We're going to wrap the bottom with some jute string and then hot glue it to the left side of the hashtag. And then to finish it off, we're just going to add some burlap ribbon to the back, and we're just going to tape it because it's not heavy at all. And that's it for this one. A beautiful sign. I love how clever it is with the hashtag. And again, just a beautiful message for Easter. Love it. For the next project, we are going to use the galvanized mason jar from Dollar Tree, and this was one I did recently on another video, and I thought I'd include it here in this one because it just works perfect because I used the galvanized plaque. I am making extra holes using my crocodile that I do have on my Amazon store, so make sure you go check it out. Again, it is linked down below. Once I had the holes made, I'm going to use one of these decals from the Dollar Tree. This one says God bless you, and it has that metallic look that just looked perfect with the galvanized metal plaque. It didn't even look like it was a decal. It looked perfect with it. Then I am going to take the little picks that I cut out earlier, and I'm just going to start threading them right through each hole, and just kind of like how I see fit. I'm just going to start placing them, and then we're going to secure everything in the back with some tape, and then we're going to cut off the excess tape using my X-Acto knife. I am then going to make a very simple bow here using some burlap fabric, scrunch it in the middle, tie it with some jute string, and then we're going to hot glue it to the bottom of the greenery. And then we're going to add a little white and yellow flowers just in the center of the bow. I think it's going to tie everything in with the design of the plaque. And I think this one turned out so beautiful. I love it. Just such a smart way to use these galvanized metal plaques, and the possibilities are endless. But I would love to hear which one is your favorite. I would have to say the first one is still my favorite with the wooden mason jars, but let me know. If you are visiting for the first time, or if you're coming from another channel in the challenge, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you consider joining our YouTube family. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I hope you all have a blessed Easter. Here's more inspiration for you. Check out one of these 2 playlists and video. Don't forget to also check out the playlist down in the description box with all the Easter inspiration for you. Bye.